ahead, Kathrine.
We're filming?
Yeah. Look into the camera. Come on.
I'm just learning how to do this. I gotta look in the camera. Jen, teach me.
You have to look into the camera and say,
This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Hi, everybody. This is Cats and Pudding and Kitty. I'm so happy to be back. And really, I'm really happy today for my next guest, our next guest, who is my favorite, most sexiest Italian woman on social media.
she is.
She really is funny, and I love you. And so, write it down, is her saying. We have Rossella, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, Rossella. I'm so happy you're here. I didn't know if you were coming or not because we didn't get a response back. And I was.
Jeff does not copy my assistant, Francesca.
Oh, shit, throwing Jeff under the bus.
Jeff, I have a lot going on. I would really appreciate if you let Franny know. Don't ask me anything because I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm doing. I have a Francesca for that.
Yeah, well, I have a couple of people for that for me. I need a few.
Listen,
I had
she came out
anxiety.
swinging already.
I had anxiety list at 11 o'clock. I'm like, did I reply to this email? I didn't reply to this email. I'm an idiot. Like, what? I'm not equipped to reply to emails anymore. Like,
I hate emails.
I can't.
I never answer emails. I hate them.
I don't need that
I don't
agita
do
at 11
emails either.
o'clock
I say
at night.
text me.
I don't even answer text messages.
You answer mine.
I do answer yours, but I don't. But when I'm at work, especially too, I don't answer anybody. I can't.
Yeah, well,
It's
you
hard.
have to hold the needle. You know,
I have to be. Yes, I have to be. I have to be in the zone when I'm
Yeah,
at work.
I wouldn't. Yeah, if you were on your phone with like the, I'd
Hey,
have
what's
questions.
going on? Let me inject you. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey,
No.
Joanne. No, I'm not coming. Thank you. Just hold still.
I'll be like, Tommy, I'll be right back when I call you back later. Yeah, I can't.
I feel like I'm a little privileged over here because you do answer me when you're at work.
I do. I answer you.
Am I supposed to say that so your other friends?
They're gonna
I
get
just
mad.
threw you under the
You
bus
did, you
now.
threw me under the
She
bus.
never answers me when she's at work.
It depends on what I'm doing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If I'm at work.
No, that's
Yeah.
fair. If I'm cooking, like I can't fry chicken cutlets and like
talk at
on
the same time.
Only if it's my mother, because like I'm on autopilot. But I can't like think anything that requires thought. It's not. I'll burn the cutlet. No,
You can't do that.
no. I like to streamline my life now. Just like
This is a good segue into what we were talking about, and I want to talk about something.
Let me hear.
I noticed that she slowed down on her social media, and you weren't around as much. You took a break, and for me to notice that, I'm in a
You're in a
fog.
bubble.
I'm in a bubble. I'm in the clouds. My head's in the clouds. That means I really like you and I follow you and I noticed you were gone and I DM'd you and I said, how's everything going? Are you okay? You told me something out in the waiting room about taking the break and what you discovered for your, I don't even want to say, tell us why you took a break and what was happening. And then the whole therapy that you just told me about, which is so interesting.
So I think I struggled with anxiety and depression since I was a kid. I mean, you know, not just the kind that comes with being raised in an Italian-American household.
Which is very bad.
Which is, you know, its own niche,
Yeah.
brands. But I think I had some issues that I didn't know how to deal with. I mean, I did therapy since I was, I don't even know, 16, like on and off. But talk therapy, the more I was researching it, was only going to deal with, 10% of our conscious minds. The 90% of our subconscious minds is not really used. So I was trying to find a way to help myself because I hit a wall. At one point, things feel like too much, and a lot of things happened in quick succession. My father got sick. My father got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma last year. My grandmother's 91. She suffers from dementia. I went through a bad breakup. I went through a bad friend breakup. That was worse than
That's worse.
That's worse than the
It
romantic
is
breakup.
worse. It's
Friends
bad.
breakup is worse.
Yeah, friends breakup is worse.
So
I think so.
It started to feel.
Was it an old friend?
A lot of old friends. It was like, total. It felt like everything started like crumbling all around me, and I didn't know what to do. And I almost wanted to like give up
Yeah.
on everything. I just got into a place that was so sad, and I couldn't be excited about life anymore. And
Spirit was broken. Your spirit was broken.
And I would talk to my friends, and your friends always try and uplift you, and they say, you have this wonderful life, you're not living it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was doing. I wasn't living my life. I like stopped living my life, and it just didn't feel good to show myself anyway. I've been sharing my life on social media since 2009.
Right.
And it all takes a toll. It's hard to go through private things publicly.
Yes.
And I just stopped. And while I was, taking a break, I think there was still part of me that was trying to hold on and was still like willing to go on. And I think that's the most important thing. And I started researching ketamine therapy,
which I find fascinating.
Yeah, I've heard of the ketamine.
Listen
therapy.
to this. Tell her what it does.
I mean, ketamine is a psychedelic. It's an anesthetic. It's actually used in anesthesia for children.
Well, they called it Special K in the club.
They do in the
Yes.
club. So everybody asks me that. Is it like tripping in a club? No, it is nothing like that. When ketamine is used to treat treatment-resistant depression or PTSD or so many other things that it's used for, I did it in a clinical setting with an integrationist, with a lot of support and, a zero gravity recliner and a weighted blanket and the headphones, and I'm bougie. Okay. I did it the bougie way. It's very,
eye mask.
An eye mask. Yeah. There's medical doctors.
Music.
You listen to meditation music throughout, there's medical doctors, they weigh you. It's a very specific dose. It's not, you're not just left to your own devices.
Is it almost like a microdosing?
It's a pretty to get you in the dissociative state. So what I mean by a dissociative state is ketamine is a dissociative. So it dissociates you from your body. Wow. And it will dissolve your ego, your thinking mind. So you're able to view your traumas, your memories as an observer. So even if you're revisiting trauma or uncomfortable situations,
you're not in it.
It's not scary.
Right. Wow. You're just like kind of watching it.
Yes, it's kind of like you're walking through a museum of your thoughts and and memories and things. And
how did that feel?
I mean, it was probably the single most profound experience of my entire life.
Did it open the third eye?
It opened everything. I mean,
no, they say that the ayahuasca opens the third eye, and you could like see your future. People see so many crazy.
You can see it. Some people, whatever you want to call it, you can connect to your higher self, to your soul, because you really. There's a moment where you forget you have like a body, and you're just kind of floating, and you're like, "Is this what it's like to be?" Like,
wow.
I don't know.
I was just going to ask that.
She saw a vision of the Madonna.
I saw it's very. Ketamine is very Morpheus.
Yeah.
So with the music, everything kind of moves through like these different galaxies, and I think everybody's representations are different in there, but you can see things in very fine details. So every time I do it, everything's kind of like a mosaic. So yeah, I did see like a mosaic of like a Madonna and child, and it was like me and my mother, but I was the mother and she was the child, and it was very emotional and very beautiful.
That's so deep.
That's deep.
And then could I ask you, are other people in the room with you when you go for this treatment?
So the way I did it at a fantastic clinic in the city called Nushama. And I researched, I always do my research. Nushama. And I do my research with everything, whether it's lip filler or ketamine therapy. I do very extensive research.
Yes.
And I just found that the way that they treat with ketamine is so different. It's 3 hours long. There's integration therapy before with an integrationist. You set an intention, then they give you the medicine, then the integrationist comes back, you process everything, and it's something that I am really passionate about now because it literally gave me my life back in so many ways. I mean, within hours,
you felt better.
My physical depression was gone.
The first treatment?
For me, yes. And I remember calling my friend that night and saying, I just feel so rational. Like perspectives that never
Right.
felt available to me before.
Wow.
Like when you're in that bad place and you just can't.
I think
like,
I need to do this.
Everything is
You
garbage.
have like a tunnel vision of one way.
All of a sudden, it
Well,
was
it all
like
opened up.
I can see this differently now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But don't you find that happens to most people? What we tunnel. I think we compartmentalize a lot of things, and we do a tunnel vision because maybe we just can't deal
Yes.
with the outer.
Yes.
That's part of everything. So
Yes.
it's easier for us to deal with doing that, and that
You
kind
rather have the tunnel vision and not
Right.
deal with the pain.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think we feel safe
Yes.
in whatever we're holding on to somehow. If you complain about things, you have something to complain. You know, those people that just want to complain about something.
Oh, my
You
God.
feel safe
I
in
know
that
those
in some
people.
way. Because if you didn't feel safe in it and you realize that it's not helping you, you have no problem letting it go.
Yeah.
Can you go for the ketamine treatment if you just want to experience an out of body thing and tap into your creativity and go, or you have to go there with a prescription for depression?
No, you don't need you don't need a prescription. I think the way ketamine works is that it can rewire the brain. So
Yeah.
the way it is, I'm sorry, but by the time you're 8 years old, by the time we're 8 years old, most of our trauma has already happened to
Yeah.
us. And the neural pathways get formed incorrectly in a certain way. That's why it's like, you should do things one way, but you just do them a different way that isn't necessarily great.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the brain can change. The brain has something called neuroplasticity, and that means that we can form new neural pathways. So after you do ketamine,
It's like rewiring your brain.
there's
basically.
a period afterwards where you're like a sponge again.
Yeah.
And you can form brand new neural pathways that makes it easier to stop doing old behaviors, start doing new ones that are better.
But I mean, does Nushama? Does Nushama? Can I just walk in there and get a ketamine treatment?
I think you do a consultation, but the treatment that
Well, how do they evaluate you to say, hey, you need it?
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean.
saying.
Well,
you have a call. No, you can't just say, hey, I want to do it today.
Can I go and say, hey, I just want to
Right,
it's
trip out.
okay today. Can I come in? You don't want to hook me up to some, because I want to have an out-of-body experience.
exactly.
Or do I-
No, it's
What
not
do
a
they
gel
say?
manicure. No, you can't just go.
Can I just go get some?
No,
Karen
they have
because
to-
You didn't
my
need a
nails,
prescription to get there.
You do an evaluation with the
With
medical
them.
team, and they evaluate your
So they have nothing to
situation.
do with the medical world.
No, they are. They're medical
So
doctors.
they're doctors.
So
Okay,
can
so
my
they're
doctor
psych.
give me a prescription?
You can call them and their medical team will evaluate you.
Is it under medical care? Is
Yes.
it covered?
Yeah. No, it's not
Not
covered.
covered.
It's
It's probably out of network.
Is it expensive?
They bring you snacks when you wake up. You think that's covered? It's
Is,
not covered.
is it
covered.
expensive?
What kind of snacks do they bring?
It's
What kind of snacks
I like
do they
the
bring?
Kind bars, personally, but
Yeah.
what is it expensive? It's not cheap. It's certainly not affordable for everyone, which
right.
makes me very sad because I feel like there's so many people suffering.
Well, you know that always happens. The medical community or the psych community is not going to give it to everybody because guess what? It's not cost effective to cure
Right.
people.
Right.
Right? That's what happens.
There you
They'd
go.
rather keep people on these
gotta
drugs
keep
that
big
don't
pharma's
work.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly. I wasn't interested in going on long-term medication.
Yeah.
No shame to anyone
Yeah.
that's on it, but I wanted to find a solution that was a little bit more natural, but was actually going to get to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you could fix it or try to fix it or try to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's more like you're not going to fix it because there's always going to be something there and it's going to be a scar there. It's just now learn how to deal with it in a more rational way or a different way that's better for you. To go through life with, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the way we deal with things, what happens with most people, they deal with things. They abuse alcohol, they abuse eating, they abuse drugs,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
These are all things that we're going to run to help us
fill the
cope
hole.
and fill the hole. And then what happens? You feel more. You're just filling the darkness. You're feeling that demon,
That's right.
and the demon. You're not getting rid of the demon. You're just kind of keeping it there and just keep feeding it.
Keeping
It's
the
growing.
demon in check.
Right.
Because you're not dealing with yourself.
Right.
Everything in the world, everything that every person we meet is a reflection of us. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Every person we meet in the world, every situation
Have
we're
some
in
water.
is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. That's the biggest thing that I've
I think the
learned.
best thing that happened to you was being broken and going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every person should be broken in life and then build back up because you
should.
become so much more stronger, so much more aware. My spirit was broken in like 2002. Literally, I felt something break inside me. And I went rock bottom in not a depression, in a weird finding out who I was, a search along a journey to finding out. And I feel so much better. It's such a learning experience to find out who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually, though, talk about a shift in perspective. Like, I spent months going, why me? Like, why did this happen to, like, why is this all happening to me?
Victim mentality.
I'm so grateful that it did, because it all brought me home to myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade the way I feel now for any friend, any lover, any amount of, the health in my family would be, I would be more appreciative. But no, I'm grateful for the situation, because it also taught me so much about loving my parents differently, accepting my parents different, accepting everything differently.
Yes. Oh, wow. Go ahead.
Do you feel now that looking back that you got rid of, so they're losing these relationships, or that's what triggered all this, basically?
I think it was like, first my father got sick. I broke up with someone. Then I broke up with my friends. That, it was like a domino. So it wasn't
looking back, does that make you, do you realize that maybe that had to happen for you to bring you there?
Absolutely. It's like, that there's like a meme of like Jesus with like, there's like a little girl. There's this meme with like, there's a little girl and like Jesus is taking the little teddy bear away from her, but he's got like a bigger one behind his back. And it's like, we don't know how good life can actually get unless we're willing to hold on unless we're willing to let go of the past. It's like, you can't discover a new world if your ship is still docked at the old shore.
That's right.
You have to let go.
Oh, I love that. That's
you have to let go of the past, of the people. You can't, because like I always say, healing isn't linear, and my healing was not linear. There was a lot of expansion and contraction and up and down in the process of it, but growth is linear. You cannot ungrow. You cannot return to the places and the relationships that you've grown out of.
Yeah.
They can't contain you anymore, and that's okay. That's okay. Whether that's a marriage, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a job, you have to accept that sometimes you are meant to grow in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you feel better now. I mean, you look great. Like, you look like you're glowing.
Thank you. No, I feel wonderful. I really do. I used to meet people like this. I have one friend. She's fantastic. She does this company, Chow and Cello. The Chow and Cello girl, Ariana. I was like,
she's coming on my show next month.
Of course, she has to be. I'm like, what pills do you take?
What is it, Chow and Cello?
She does these fantastic limoncello events, but she's the happiest goddamn person on the planet. It's amazing.
She's very sweet. That's I
ridiculous.
saw her on social media. I just loved her. I said, I love this girl's energy.
Yeah.
And Lucia, too, from Howard Beach.
Lucia, what's her name? Who?
I'm sorry, Leah.
Leah's Cuisine. Yeah,
Leah's Cuisine. She went to school with my daughter. She's from Howard Beach. She's from my neighborhood. So that's how I saw you, and I started following you, and then I saw you followed Amanda. So I was like, I said I loved your whole energy.
Thank you.
I said that's why I said I had to get her on here and to talk to you. And now
she has a shop online.
I run an online store called Bottega della Nonna with my father. My dad and I run it together, and we import things from Italy. We really started it with the idea that there weren't a lot of things that catered to Italian Americans, so I started making T-shirts that said like Bellezza or Bedda, like things even in like Sicilian or something, because I wanted to feel represented.
Yeah,
I wanted it to. Sometimes you go somewhere, you got a shirt that says that, somebody sees it, they're like, "You're Italian," and you start talking, and it's a relationship, and a connection for them. So I wanted to create things that I wanted to wear myself also, but that could make people feel a connection to, the Italian American heritage.
And your books.
And my book, I did
cooking books.
My cookbooks. I'm like the model that got discovered at McDonald's in publishing. I swear to God, this does not happen to anybody. I started Cooking with Nonna, my YouTube show, in 2009. So like I've been around a long time. And in 2016, I got a Facebook message from an editor at a publishing company. And she's like, I thought you already had a book out. Do you want to write a book? That was the offer. And I
Did you think it was fake?
Yes and no. I mean, she seemed legit. She seemed to know, like, really did follow me and liked what I did. And I was like, you want me to write a book? I didn't think I was ever going to get into college. I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. I didn't think that I could do things like that back then. I think I had a little bit of like imposter syndrome when I was 22 years old when I started this. I was like, I'm not a chef. I'm not anything, and over the years you learn nobody knows what the hell
That's
they're doing.
right.
No, nobody knows.
Don't
what they're
worry.
doing.
Like, it's fine.
It's so true.
Everyone's just winging it, a
How
little
many
bit.
cookbooks do you have?
I wrote three books. Sorry. I wrote 3 books in 6 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So,
Did you write them yourself?
I had to write them myself because
good.
only the Real Housewives get ghostwriters. I asked.
Oh shit! Throwing the Real Housewives.
I'm
them
just
under the
saying,
bus. It's
I
okay.
had to actually write
It's
the
all right.
books.
My Real Housewives friends, they didn't write books, so that's
Well,
the
the
Wait, so
ones
when
that
you say
did
you
didn't
didn't-
write them.
no, they did. I know. You're
When
right.
you say you didn't write the books, in other words, on the Real Housewives, they're given the recipes. They're not
no, they're
their
given ghostwriters.
They're given ghostwriters.
So Real Housewives, if you would like me to write
Teresa
your
and
book,
Melissa didn't write their book.
No, maybe they didn't write it, but is it their recipes?
Well, Teresa's a good cook. I mean, but I don't know if I don't think Teresa sat down and wrote her book.
well,
Let's
they
just say.
probably give them a recipe developer,
Yes.
like you also have to pay someone to test the recipes
Right.
in most
Oh.
cases. That was not my case. I worked with a small publisher for my first 2 books. So my first book, I tested 140 recipes in 30 days.
Wow.
What?
And by the end of it, I looked like I made meth in a garage.
Whoa!
It was just me and a gallon of Carlo Rossi wine and my father and a
I
dream.
love that.
Like
what?
but those experiences, I wouldn't trade for anything because that was, a culinary education.
Yeah.
That was a boot camp.
That's
In
amazing.
other words, when you say testing, you have to measure everything so that you could put it in the book with the measurement.
Well, you have to give some. If you're writing a cookbook, it can't be like the way we Italian cook. I'll do a little bit of
Yeah.
this, do a little bit of that. Like we know, like when you cook, right? As us as Italians,
Yeah.
I don't even think about it half the time. I'm just
Right.
doing it.
You're looking at it.
So
You
when
don't measure.
No,
I
so
don't
when
measure
somebody's
either.
asking me how do I do that, like I'll give you a perfect example. My sister Mary, out of us, does not cook. My whole family, all the women in my family cook. My sister Mary was not a cook. She married a chef. She needed to because the woman burned water. So she moved to Florida, called me and my sister, and asked us how to make stuffing. For the amount of time that she called us from the pork store. How much celery? Me and my sister's like, I don't know what fucking celery. Just put a fucking handful in. My sister goes, I could have made it for her and sent it to her with all this fucking phone calls, 27 messages back and forth, asking us what to do to make this fucking stuffing. Like, it would have been cheaper for us to do it. So when you're saying that, like, we don't really write down, like, what we're doing, so she has to be able to, for someone to follow her recipe.
Right, you had to measure
Has to
everything.
measure it out to follow it at some point of origin.
So did you have to, in the 30 days, every recipe you made, even if you were just making your everyday sauce, you had to measure it all.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, and if it didn't work, like if the recipe doesn't work,
Then
I
you
had
have
to
to
make
fix
it
it.
work.
Yeah.
But the thing is that all the recipes that were given to me for those books came from Italian grandmothers.
Yeah.
Came from the nonna.
And that's hard. Half the time they don't give you the right
and
one. 'cause they don't
you know,
want you to duplicate it.
my books are all recipes and stories from Italian grandmothers. Yeah, and sometimes they lie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but they're all.
My grandmother wouldn't give us her freaking cookies. She took that shit to her grave because nobody could duplicate them. I said
No.
didn't tell us an ingredient for her marmalade cookies.
Yeah, I believe it.
I know that.
Nobody
And
has it?
Oh, she wrote it for us before she died, but she didn't write everything in there because she didn't want us to have the recipe.
I got very
I
few
know it.
What do you mean?
liars.
She left things out of her recipe?
100%
Yeah, they
because
don't
none
want
of
you
us
to
She
could
do
didn't
it.
want to know why
duplicate
she didn't want anybody to make it better than her.
Exactly.
Absolutely, that she didn't.
I don't
That's
let those
serious.
people in my books. I spot those right away, and I'm like, "There's something missing, Lucia. Where is it?" Like I get, yeah, because I'm trying to do something here. And if they wrote a recipe down for me, it was measured in like espresso cups. So yeah, I had to test it.
Yeah.
You know, so you know how many
They're
times.
not using measuring cups
Yeah.
and ladles and shit.
And
They're doing
everybody's
stuff.
espresso cup's different, so I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Well, how much is it? How much does this hold?" I did a lot of things by weight. I'm a
Yeah.
master at weight, metric, imperial. I could convert everything.
Wow.
I sucked at math in school.
Wow.
You can teach people math and metrics.
That's amazing.
You know, I
That's
know
amazing.
I have a PhD in nononomics.
Yes.
You know,
I love that.
I love that.
And she teaches Italian, right?
I was gonna teach.
Oh my God, would you teach me Italian? I really want to learn.
I want to learn too.
That is on my bucket
I think
list.
that's another show, like learning
The next show,
Italian.
yes.
I've never been to Italy. I want to learn how to.
I've been to Italy.
Go to Italy
I know, she has to go to Italy. I've been to Italy quite a few
and
times.
learn how to speak Italian.
But I have to live there for a certain time. You can't go. You have to stay there for like a month and
Like
like
6
just,
months.
And
let's rent
Can I
out a villa.
Yeah,
I would love to.
you should stay there from May to October.
And you should come with us.
I would love to. I actually used to run.
What do you
a
mean?
tour
3
company.
months stay there?
6 months. It'll be
Why
fine.
don't we try a month first?
You-
It'll
like,
go
you'll be
fast.
off the grid
a
over
month
there.
in Italy is like 15 seconds. You think I'm crazy saying this, but I swear to God on my life, a month in I don't know what it is. A month in Italy feels like a day.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. When I was there, I kissed the ground when I came home. I swear. I loved it there. Maybe because I'm such a New Yorker, like I had the speed. But like I was there and like I loved it. But after
How
about
quick were you over it?
Probably about a week later, I was over it. I'm like, all right, it's time for me to come home.
You're
Why?
the first person I ever heard that
my
from.
cable. No, but I think
How
it
about
was,
showers? Do you have pressure, water pressure?
no, that was okay. But the air conditioning,
yeah.
Nobody has air conditioning?
They
even
do,
in the
but
most
it's like
beautiful villas, don't have they don't
it's
turn
like
it on.
it's like blowing on you. It's really not strong. They don't have
Yeah.
ice and they don't have air
Yeah,
conditioning and they
it's
don't have
like that.
toilet paper or toilet seats.
Wait, what do you mean they don't have? What do you wipe your hand with? Your ass with your
They have
hand?
bidets. A lot of them have bidets.
Well, no, some like if you go to like a restaurant,
What?
if you
Yeah.
go to a restaurant, and this is mostly in the South, okay? If you go to a restaurant in the South or a cafe or whatever, 90% of the time there's no toilet seat, and there's
Oh my- yeah.
How do you wipe
shortage of
your?
toilet
I really
paper.
want to know how do you, wipe
gotta
your butt?
like bring it with you. You gotta be creative. You gotta think.
What do you mean? That they disregarding toilet paper
They're
hygiene?
not in the service.
Yeah.
They're not on top of like
They're
the
not on top of it.
Hygiene?
service.
Yeah.
No, it's service. Hygiene.
I sound like an Italian off the boat. Hygiene.
Hygiene.
Hygiene. They're not in the,
Well, the
service of
bidet is
hygiene.
the bidet is very hygienic.
Yes, it is. They do like their bidets.
The bidet is very
Yes,
hygienic.
it
I
is.
mean, I'd appreciate knowing that a guy's washing his brajol like every
Yeah.
time he goes to the bed.
No,
Like,
but
that is-
I
that's
don't
very hygienic.
appreciate the fact that there's no toilet. You're coming out. What did you do with your hands? What are you wiping?
Well, like you.
You're
bring-
not. But you have to
What do
bring
you
it
mean
with
you're
you.
not? You just
Napkins.
pulling your underwear up and walking
You-
out with shit on your ass?
No, you think, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. Let me grab the napkins
They
before I
make
go.
you have to make sure you take it with you. I mean, I didn't have that experience.
It's 2025. Get with the program, Italy.
In Northern Italy, I didn't have that experience.
No, they don't. In Northern Italy, they're a little different.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
different in Northern Italy. But
I would pack toilet paper with me then. Now I know.
kind of have to. So
Yeah,
it's a commodity.
the wipes. Bring the wipes.
Bring wipes.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. You'll be,
Bring
it's all
wipes.
right.
Wow.
all right.
We'll
we
disappoint that in the
rent the
hygiene.
villa,
over
But
we'll
the
make sure.
country is so beautiful
It
that
is
you
beautiful.
forget those
Yes, you
things.
do.
That you
Yeah.
like. You're
It's
not
breathtaking.
worried about it.
It is. It's breathtaking.
You're in
I
such
gotta
a
go to
vibe.
Naples. I gotta go to Caserta.
Just the smells, everything.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
Oh.
The air, the sounds,
The
and
sounds.
everything. It's a different
The
environment.
taste, yeah, it's beautiful.
We should come up with an idea where we have Italian girls, a big bunch of us, go to a villa for a month and create something.
I
We
And
love to
create
do that.
something.
We should do that.
when do we leave? Like,
Yes. Can we go tomorrow?
Yeah.
Can we
Let's go right
tonight?
after New
Can we
Year's.
go tonight?
let's go.
Let's go right after
I
New
love
Year's.
to do that.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, let's do it. I think we should.
I'm
definitely
ready to
plan that.
go. I need to meet my family in Naples.
I'm like uncomfortable with the fact that you haven't been to Italy.
I
Yeah,
gotta
you
call the
need to go.
Narducci's and say, the hygiene.
We need it.
The
What's it? The
hygiene,
hygiene.
man.
There's
Get
Via
the toilet paper.
Narducci in her town, and she has never been there.
I know.
I feel like I would
know.
be the person that would buy something there and stay there and never want to leave. I do feel like that.
I think now in the position I am now, I could stay there for a much longer time.
Really?
Yeah, I think when I went back then, I was with my daughter. And she was driving me crazy. That's probably why I wanted to go home, because she didn't have cable, and everything is
Wi-Fi,
small,
and,
Wi-Fi, all this other. Yeah, so that was probably the issue. Was probably make more nervous that I was there with her.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think when I'm there, I was in Northern Italy the last couple of times, but I loved it there. I mean, it's breathtaking. Florence is breathtaking. Portofino's breathtaking. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere. The people are amazing.
I'm from a little town. Both my parents are actually from the same town on the Adriatic coast. I'm Barese. So,
You're Barese? Okay.
yeah, in Puglia, there's a little town called Mola di Bari, and my whole family came from there. So I grew up going there for 3 months a year every summer, because Italian was my first language.
Yeah.
I went to school. I didn't learn English until I was 5.
What? You were born in Italy?
No, I was born in Brooklyn, but
Oh shit!
in 1987,
Yeah.
Brooklyn was
Yeah.
Italy back
Wow.
It was like that for us too when I was growing up. I mean, a lot of people who came to this country, they didn't learn their first language. My son-in-law's first language was Italian,
Yeah.
and he was born here. I mean, his first language was Italian.
Wow.
then. Yeah,
That's it.
My mother and I still pretty much only speak to each other in Italian. It's just still
Well,
like
the old timers are
And
never
my-
gonna change.
My
They're gonna
nonna
always
lived
speak.
with us growing
Yeah.
up, so she only spoke Italian. She didn't speak English. She still doesn't speak English. She's been here 60 years. She doesn't speak English.
Can you
So-
say something in Italian? Say, can we take a trip to Italy after New Year's?
Possiamo fare un viaggio in Italia dopo Capodanno?
See.
I love it. See. Yes, tonight.
Yes.
Let's go.
Or
Bravi.
no gabish.
And no hygiene.
No hygiene.
But by the
no
time-
hygiene.
But
Hygiene.
by the time I was 7, I didn't want to speak Italian anymore because I was in school
School,
and
and you wanted
kids
to
make
do.
fun of you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my parents went, So the solution
Yeah.
to this is mail her to Italy with Nonna for the whole summer without my parents, and that started our process of spending the summers in Italy. Like as soon as school would end, it was like go to the
You go to
airport and and then
I wish somebody would have sent me to Italy
Me
for my
too.
summer. That's not. No, it was probably.
You had the
felt like-
best of both worlds.
I did. Yeah, I'm great. I always say God could have made me absolutely anybody. He could have made me like starving in the Sudan.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did he make me Rossella from Bensonhurst, Italian American, from where I'm from with these skills? He could have made me completely talentless. He could have made me such an idiot. And he made me exactly the way that I am. And I'm like so grateful
Right.
for
You're wonderful.
everywhere I've come from.
You're such a great energy. I
Yeah.
love you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that I finally met you in person because we would I would like her stuff. I would listen and she would like I'd see you like my stuff, and I mean just never met you in person.
Thank
and you just
you.
got a great energy.
You guys are
about you.
wonderful. I feel like my girlfriends.
Oh, well, you are.
We're
Yeah.
going to Italy. I mean,
We're going to Italy next month, so
it's good that
let's
we like
go.
each
Yeah.
other.
We have to. Thank God we like each
I know.
other because you can't make it in with going on vacation unless you like the people.
Yeah, I mean, my
It's a good
honeymoon with
thing.
my ex-husband will prove that. Italy didn't fix that.
Oh shit.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No,
That's all
not
right.
at all. No.
So, Rizzo, tell everybody where they could find you
Yeah.
and give them and let them know where they could purchase your cookbooks. And I hope I want to get a copy of one.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm such a
It's
shkostumad.
okay.
I didn't bring one today.
It's all right. You
It's-
can come
we got-
visit me. I'm in.
You're
I'm
in the
I'm in the
neighborhood.
neighborhood. You
Right.
come visit me. We'll
Exactly.
do lunch. We'll go have lunch.
I could do a
Fantastic.
really good accent and fake Italian. Like I could do an Italian accent. Want to hear it?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Let me see. But English Italian accent.
Yeah.
But I do it different than people go. What's the do, the D, the
No,
da?
no, that's
No.
not real.
I don't
That's
do
not
that.
real.
So what could I say? Give me something to say.
Tell us where to find you.
Oh, let me. I gotta think. Hold on. You see? Wait. Hold
not
on.
bad.
Let me do. You find me. I gotta be in a little bit of talk.
Say I
can't do-
want to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
I want to go to the restaurant.
It's not bad
That's
at all.
not bad.
I
It's
want to
good.
go to the restaurant.
It's really not
It's
bad.
I do that. I wanted to go to the restaurant.
You should go
Take-
out
take
and
me
meet
to
a
the
guy in
And
that
they don't
accent.
say H.
Yes.
My husband.
My husband.
My husband.
My husband.
They don't say H.
Yes.
No, they don't.
My husband.
My husband. Yeah.
My mother started trying to say H, and what she loves to say when someone's a little slow, she goes, "Rossella, that guy, the elevator does not go to the top.
The elevator.
The elevator on that
to
one.
elevate.
Does not go
I
to
love
the
that.
The elevator.
So funny.
Because I was like, Ma, you got to say H's. She's like, so now she's very aware of it.
So now she's saying it now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to get your mother on the show with us. That would be fun.
Happy holiday.
Hurricane
Happy
Ann.
holiday. I would love to have. That would be great.
It would
we
be a
should do that.
4-hour show.
I don't care. She's come. I'll make the whole time I'm here.
Her
We could have
mother's
a
an
show.
actress, too.
I love that.
Yeah, she's a lot of things, my mother.
She
but
is?
no, she's wonderful. You'd love her. Everybody loves her.
Well, I would love to meet her.
She can come. I'll bring her.
All right,
But
so you
then
got
it's
her.
your problem.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
like,
care.
careful what you
I
wish
don't care.
for.
We're exchanging numbers, you and I. We're friends now. That's it. So
That's
I
it.
want to. That's it. That's it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. That's it. That's it. I
it.
spent. Forget about it.
My nonna says that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So let everybody know where they can find you because I'm gonna tag it on
Yes,
my
of
YouTube
course.
channel too.
So you can find me at Rossella Rago. My online shop is bottegadelanonna.com. I know it's a really tough name, but Bottega was already taken.
And
You know,
it was taken.
I'm trying. And my books are available wherever books are sold or on my website for autograph copies.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Gorgeous, beautiful.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you
and
for
having
me.
and it was such a pleasure to finally meet you in
Yes.
person.
Yes.
I love you. And you're
I
coming
love you
back and we're
too.
going to Italy.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
with my
All right.
mother.
With
and,
your
you know,
mother.
I mean,
and your
just-
grandmother. No, not come too. Let her
Yes.
come too. We love it.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
excited.
What am I doing?
So, if you are interested in old school Italian espresso, latte, cappuccino, paninis, pastries, Dolce Bean Cafe in the heart of Ridgewood, Queens is where you have to try it. Everybody, tell them that Jen sent you there, Dolce Bean Cafe. Tell them Jen sent you. Have a wonderful day, and I'm so glad we had a great show today. Thank you for coming. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. That was so great.